Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that millions of homeowners deal with, but probably don't love to think about: septic tanks. We're going to do a SEPTIFIX review by breaking down the source material on this particular septic tank cleaner. We'll look at the claims, how it supposedly works, the costs involved, and the big problems it's designed to solve. But let's start with a really direct question. What if you're flushing hundreds of dollars down the drain every year on septic maintenance? Because that's the central financial hook in the material we're looking at today. It's positioned as a major issue for anyone with a septic system. And this really gets to the core of the problem, right? Your septic system is, well, it's out of sight, out of mind. But the source material argues that when things go south, the costs, both financially and for your health, can be huge. Let's break down what it points to.
So let's talk numbers. The source says that the average homeowner is spending anywhere from $400 to $600 a year just for routine septic pumping. That's a pretty significant repeating expense that, let's be honest, no one really wants to pay.
But it's not just about the money. The source makes a big point about the hidden health risks. A failing septic system isn't just a plumbing issue, it argues. It can actually leak really nasty stuff like E. coli and Hepatitis A into your soil and even your groundwater. That's a serious potential risk for your family and the environment.
Okay, so after laying out the problem, high costs, big health hazards, the source material naturally pivots to the solution it's presenting. This is where it introduces a product designed to tackle these exact issues head-on.
And here it is, SEPTIFIX. It's described as a simple 55-gram tablet that you just flush once a month. The whole idea is that it's supposed to clean, get rid of smells, and just generally maintain your entire system, a sort of all-in-one septic tank cleaner.
A really key part of the story here, as presented in the source, is its origin. The claim is that this tablet was actually developed by scientists right here in the US, and they had one very specific goal in mind: to basically make your septic tank clean itself.
So you're probably wondering, how can one little tablet possibly manage a whole septic system? It seems like a big job, right? Well, the source material lays out a pretty specific 4-step process to explain the science behind it.
All right, here's how it's said to work. First, you flush the tablet. Easy enough. As it dissolves, it releases oxygen. Now this is the key. That oxygen helps good, oxygen-loving bacteria to flourish. And these bacteria are apparently way more effective at digesting waste than the normal bacteria in the tank. The result? The claim is that not only do odors get neutralized pretty fast, but the system starts breaking down all that organic sludge, oils, and grease that cause backups and clogs.
So the argument then moves from the how to the so what. You know, if this process actually works the way it's described, what are the real-world results a homeowner can expect to see? The source lists some pretty compelling benefits. It talks about getting rid of odors in just a few days, drastically reducing or even eliminating the need for pumping, and preventing corrosion and clogs in the first place. It's also framed as being eco-safe, since it promotes healthy bacteria instead of using harsh chemicals.
And to back all this up, the source cites data from over 21,000 users. These people reportedly have much smoother running septic systems. This is used as the proof that many of them can go for years without ever needing to call that expensive pumping truck.
And this all leads to the main showdown, a direct comparison. The source pits the traditional, old way of doing things against this new, more proactive approach.
So on one side, you've got traditional pumping. The source describes it as expensive, disruptive to your schedule, and, most importantly, reactive. You're basically waiting for a problem. On the other side, you have this tablet method, presented as affordable, simple, just flush and forget, and preventive. The core argument is about changing your mindset from fixing problems to stopping them before they even start. And here's the bottom line, at least according to the article. By getting rid of that reoccurring pumping fee, the big conclusion is that users could be saving over $500 every single year. So if we boil this entire SEPTIFIX review down to one core idea, it's this. The source material is all about making a fundamental shift away from reactive, expensive repairs and towards simple, proactive maintenance. And that leaves us with one final, pretty interesting thought. We're seeing more and more of these kinds of products, right? Little tablets that promise to solve big, complex maintenance chores, septic tanks, dishwashers, you name it.
So the question this trend really asks is this the future? Is this simplified, proactive approach how we're all going to take care of our homes down the line? Definitely something to think about. That's it for this explainer. Thanks for tuning in.
Get SEPTIFIX with a money-back guarantee. Click the link in the description below to check it out. See how it can transform your septic system.